Velkommen til The Fit Rockstar Show. Jeg er Helle Trevino, 2 gange verdensmester i Women's Bodybuilding. Vores vært i dag er Isabel Terrell.
Thank you. Well, welcome, Helle Trevino, the Beast Queen, the Thunder Thighs, 2-time world champion. She's actually won a whole ton of shows. Helle Trevino, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Did you come all the way from, I'm going to try to pronounce this, forgive me, Sodenburg, Denmark?
Sønderborg, yes, that's my birth town, but I came all the way from LA to visit you here. So 1 hour flight is a little bit different than, I think over there it's like a 12, 13 hour flight.
Did you get some training in yet?
I got the cardio in this morning.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to get the training in later.
I'm sitting across from you, and you are looking very vascular and very hard and lean. And you actually gave me a sneak peek on some pictures. Blown away.
I did.
Your legs
Thank
are
you.
always your, that's like everything's your signature, but the legs are insane. And everything looks very lean. You actually look a lot, this looks like the best conditioning I've ever seen you in. But, we'll get into that in a little.
You should have seen the pictures this morning because I had
you didn't send them to me.
Well,
I got yesterday's pictures.
Get my phone. Well, that was the flat look. So yesterday I had a high carb day look, and it was like, bam, like just everything just popped. And
Listen, when you just did that front double bicep, it was a bam moment for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, it's got to be my best package to date that I'm gonna bring. There's no doubt.
Now you have played sports all your life, right?
Yes.
Pretty much since what? Since you were born? How do you?
Well, my parents, they put me in gymnastic class when I was 3.
Right.
Thank God for that because it's just got me started early on an athletic background. I discovered I loved to swim. My dad taught me how to swim, and I continued in high school and went on to be a swimming champion. And I got my own horse when I was around 10, 12 years old.
So you're the real life warrior then?
Yeah.
Got the horse and everything, got the sword?
Yep.
Right?
I even competed in equestrian sports over there, which is...
You have the spear, right?
Yeah, it's competitions where you kind of ride and gallop through sort of like a gallows where there's a rope down where there's a lock with a ring attached, and you ride 24 rounds and you got to catch the ring.
Well, that sounds like some Wonder Woman stuff right there. And you are Wonder Woman, right?
I guess I was always a little bit of a Wonder Woman.
You are always a Wonder Woman. So it's interesting because you got into working out around what, 16 years old?
Yeah.
And that was because you had, from what I was, I did a lot of stalking on you, obviously. You had a eating disorder.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Well, I think a lot of young girls have a somewhat distorted body image, because of the magazines and the models and the runway models. And, you're just kind of in this type of society brought up with the image of like women are supposed to be skinny and slender and,
So did you feel like
a lot of the clothes also cater to smaller women? It's just, I have a hard time finding clothes.
Oh, I bet, looking at especially the legs department.
So I think just the body ideal that I thought was
skinny.
The ideal was skinny, and I was just never skinny. Like, given my athletic background, I was still having a lot of muscle, and especially like leg muscle. I ran track also in school, so
you weren't eating much then. You were trying to get skinny.
I was trying to not eat at all, and if I ate, I kind of went and like,
Oh, really? Wow.
Because I was like, okay, you fucked up. You got to get rid of this food again. I thought, this was the way to go, which it wasn't, because it has a lot of also psychological effects.
Absolutely.
When you starve yourself, depression, and just, being that unhappy with your body image and thinking you need to look something else than you're not. And it's like, you can't change your body type. Like, I will never become 5'10" ectomorph because I'm 5'5", 5'6".
I was going to say, so you say you're 5'5". Now I'm 5'5". You look like, I always thought you're 5'7".
I'm 5'6".
5'6".
Yeah.
That's why, because you're taller than me.
It says 5'5" in my
Right.
passport, but
We need to
since I've
change
been
that.
measured somewhere
Right.
else, it says 5'6".
You're a living, walking giant. Well, in
I
a good
love that term.
in a good
I
way.
mean, giant-
Amazon, exotic Amazon. Let me change that.
I love all the terms. Like people
Right.
ask me sometimes, like, is it a compliment to you? Like if people call you Beast, or I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, my nickname is Beast Queen. You
Beast
know,
Queen,
like
right.
giant, monster, Beast Queen.
Monster. You take it all.
Wonder Woman.
Who
Freak.
Well,
I love it.
I like Freak too in the bedroom. But
Right?
anyway, so who was your role model for getting into bodybuilding? Your mother?
It was actually Kim Chizevsky.
Really?
Yeah.
This is when she was really big, came out with a big look?
Yeah, that was like at
So
the
the
time where
90s.
I started being serious at the gym. That was when I discovered Flex magazine and Muscle and Fitness and stuff. They had a bunch of them laying around there, and
In the gym.
they had this little coffee shop with protein shakes and stuff, and I read them like from start to end, and I thought Kim was absolutely amazing because she was the biggest at the time, the most like just freakishly muscular and shredded and huge, and
And you can compare yourself to her because you are also a very big woman and muscular.
Well, yeah, I was just always naturally muscular, and I thought, I could kind of, even though I didn't have that degree of muscularity yet, I could kind of mirror myself in her. That I was like, I saw pictures of her also. She also ran track in high school, and I was like, well, if she can do it, maybe, with time and I stick to it, I can do it too. And I had very early dreams of being on the Olympia stage.
So this is actually funny because when I first heard about you, I mean, I've always seen your pictures. I started when I was 21, but I saw the iconic Bill Dobbins photos of you, and I'm like, oh my God, this girl is insane. You're beautiful. You've got the nice muscle bellies, and you're huge, and then the best legs in the biz, in my opinion. And I saw you, or not saw you, but online on the Muscle Mayhem forums. Remember those?
Yeah, I
because you
remember.
at the time were doing articles, nutrition articles, I think, for the magazines
Yeah.
or something, weren't you?
True, yeah.
See, that's something else people don't. You used to write a bunch of articles and stuff because you're a big person on health and
Yeah.
nutrition.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm
And
a
you're
coach as well.
Also an excellent cook.
Thank
I would
you.
always see you prepping your meals and you making these soups and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, when I saw you on Muscle Mayhem, which was Chad Nichols' site, and
Yeah.
his wife Kim Chizevsky, when did you meet Kim Chizevsky?
I think the first time I met her was at a show. It was a show in Atlanta. I don't remember which one it was. It's not existing today. GNC.
Oh, the GSC Show of Strength.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And she was there with Chad, and he was my coach. And I
Oh, wow.
remember I went to his hotel room so he could like have a look at me and for the
She
carb
was
up
there.
and stuff. And she was there, and she looked at my legs and she was like, "Wow, Chad! Like her legs, they look like mine. Like
Wow.
when I was back in the day in my prime." She's like, she's got like amazing legs, and I was just like so blown away.
Oh, of course,
because
that's Miss Olympia.
She was comparing my legs
To her,
legs, and she already won the Miss Olympia, several times.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, she was, I think, retired, and I was like just upcoming. It was just like my, I don't know, third pro show. Or
When was
something.
your first pro show? 2013?
My first one was actually the Jantana Pro Classic in 2003.
Oh, I'm
But I had like a long. I turned pro early already
Okay.
in my 20s, and
forgive me for that. Do not beat me up with those guns.
No, that's cool because a lot of people they don't know because I didn't really get into it before 2010.
So how many shows have you done in total?
I don't know. Like, I mean, it's not as many as some. Like, I know Yaxeni is like crazy high, like 60 something, 70 shows. I haven't done that much because I kind of fired early. So it was like I did the Danish Nationals at my first show. I won it. I went and qualified for the Scandinavian Nationals and won it. And then I went on, I did one World Championships, and then I turned pro already mid-20s. And then I did the Jantana Pro Classic, my first pro show in the States.
How old were
and I
you when you
won that
turned
one.
pro?
I think 27.
27. And then
My
you moved.
first Danish Nationals was 22.
Oh, wow.
And by 27, I was a pro.
So-
and I won the Jantana, and I was fifth at the Olympia that year.
Wow.
And then I suffered a serious back injury. I broke my back.
Oh, my
And I actually still have that injury, but the breakage is healed and stuff. But I still have to be careful.
Right.
But it took me actually 8 years to get back from that.
Wow.
So I just never, you know, when you're like almost there, and it was like I was always winning. I was on top, like even like you turn pro and you hear this like, oh, when you turn pro from an amateur, it will be years before you even place. And, you know, you're not going to win your first pro show. And I went and won my first pro show.
Well, don't you
And
just love the haters? People always have to say, it's just
you know,
fire.
I function really well with haters.
Right.
Like, and also like,
If they're not hating on you, you're not doing
being the underdog,
Yeah.
I love it. I love when people underestimate me and
Right.
they're like, oh, she's finished, she don't got it. You know, like I love when they say that because it just fuels on my fire. You know?
Well, a great example would be, 2016, you did the Rising Phoenix.
Joe Weider's Olympia here in Orlando, Florida.
A little bit strange coming out of Las Vegas for all of those years.
Good evening, and welcome to the event that nearly never happened.
There's been an absence of a particular group of people on this stage that are back tonight. Tonight I'm here to say, welcome back to Miss Olympia.
And I'll never forget, you were very good that year. And of course, that was the year Margie Martin won. Listen, I know you were not happy, disappointed, whatever you want to call it. And you came back 2017. You did the Tampa Pro, which nobody was expecting you to do. You came in, won that in honor of your mother, which God bless her.
that was 19.
Was it 19?
Yeah, 17, I did the Rising Phoenix.
So
and won.
2019, you came
And
in and did
19,
Tampa.
I came back.
Well, going back, 2017, you came back to Rising Phoenix. You kicked ass, blew everybody away.
Yep.
And then 2019, you wind up doing the Tampa Pro, which again, nobody was expecting that because you're a top competitor. You don't really have to do those little shows.
I don't have to do
No,
it.
but you came in
and my
and-
mom just passed like 6 weeks before
Right.
that show. So
You wanted to dedicate it to her, and you came in,
Yeah,
cleaned
I had to
house,
do that, yeah.
and then you won again the Rising Phoenix.
Yeah.
So I know, moving fast forward, last year, of course, we had COVID and a whole bunch of things, and you're from Venice,
Yeah.
which you moved there at what, 30 years old? And why did you decide to move there? To better your career with bodybuilding?
that was it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, I love Denmark. I love my country. But it's a small country, only 5 million people. And at the time, there was no pro shows at all. I think they have one now. But I'm not even sure if they have women's bodybuilding. It's very limited on shows. It's very limited on sponsors, opportunities. And I felt like if I really wanted to make a career, I had to move. In other sports, you see it like, okay, where's the mountains? If you want to ride the bike and you want to do the
Right,
Tour de
right.
France, maybe move to France or Italy. And I felt like I needed to be where there was the right environment for me, which
Absolutely.
was Gold's Gym Venice. I trained with Charles Glass, and I trained with
Trainer champions.
Leo Meyerhofer as well on the new X Tech. That's like this stim machine.
Wow.
And I have Kenny Wallach as my coaching coach. I have Shelby Starnes as my nutrition coach. They're all, here in the States.
Right.
And it's like, I wanted to assemble a team of the best, and that's what I got now. And just, it's hard to be overseas, and
Right.
you have limited access to people with really extraordinary knowledge and just also hands-on. I mean, for nutrition, I'm fine with, like, I do online with Shelby. You can totally do online with photos and videos and stuff.
Sure.
But with training, you need somebody hands-on. Like,
Right.
I train with Charles like 6 days a week. I train with Leo also on the machines on different days. Sometimes I'll train twice a day. So I feel like I couldn't get it any better.
Well,
And I'm happy I made the move.
I want to bring up something which is interesting. So when you moved to Venice, it was hard making money, right? We wanted to make extra income, because let's be real, bodybuilding is not cheap, right? I mean, there's so much we had to pay for. So
It's not cheap. And, I was a caretaker for disabled in Denmark, and I had the same job for 15 years, taking care of a man with muscular dystrophy. And that job does not exist in the States
Right.
because it's a government job that's like paid like if you're a nurse. But over here, it's like you have to be hired privately by the family. It's not something that's government funded. So it was, and it's not well paid either. Like over there, it's very, very well paid. You get your paycheck every month from the government. And since that was a job I couldn't do over here, I was like, okay. I also did some coaching over there and training. So that's what I started trying to
but also
build a clientele.
on weekends, though, you had a special.
Well, it's
from what
very
I
hard
heard.
when you're, I'll tell you about that.
Yes,
it's very
please.
hard when you're new. You don't just start a business and saying, hey, I'm a trainer. And also, I didn't have papers. I didn't have a green card. I couldn't get hired. I couldn't get a job nowhere because I just had no papers.
Right.
That takes a while. So, to make money, I did a little bit of, like I said, some coaching on the side. And then I went to Venice Beach every weekend with my bikini and put out a blanket and a jar and a post. Every
That's
weekend,
crazy.
I
That's
just
funny.
post for the tourists that were
Wow.
there. And, I'll make a couple $100, 100
Really?
or $200, like, every weekend.
That's enough
And-
for some protein in California.
I mean,
right?
hey, that was a lot of money for me back
Right.
then, Like, I had a room at a lady's house that wasn't too
See,
expensive.
I think that's
and-
amazing.
well, you got to adapt, I
Mm-hmm.
think something that if you really want to do well in life, you just got to adapt to the circumstances.
And one thing about you is that you always believe in your dreams, and you're a fighter. You're a go-getter. You're very determined. You're very passionate. There is no telling Helle no,
No.
that she can't do something.
And if you tell me no,
She's
I'll
gonna
try
do
to
it,
do
you
it
know.
like 3 times as hard.
Absolutely. So in saying that, we have the the Rising Phoenix come up, the World Championships, and the Olympia. What are we going to be seeing from you? Because this is the best conditioning I think we all have seen you in. So what's the deal? Are you going to be the 3-time champ now? What's for
Well, I had to really work with my mindset and change my mindset because I won the Rising Phoenix in 17 and lost it in 18 and won it in 19
Right.
and I lost it in 20.
Ah,
So I'm kind of
right,
like, okay,
yeah.
there's a pattern here.
Right.
And what's the pattern? Like what's happening when I'm winning? Because like I'm saying, I'm really good at being the underdog. I'm really good at like fighting when it's a tough situation. But when I'm on top, do I get a little complacent or what happens? And I just think I put too much pressure on myself. That's what it is. Like once you're the champion, it's like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep the title. It's like I'm the champion. I'm the one like everybody's eyes is looking at. And I want to lead. I want to lead the sport. I want to be a motivator and an inspiration and share the love I have for the sport. And I don't want to disappoint anyone who believes in me, who all
You
the
never
fans and all
disappoint
the
anyone.
supporters out there who's like, oh, you're going to win. We believe in you. Or
Right.
they maybe even send me money through PayPal. And I feel like I have an obligation to perform, to deliver, to be the reigning champion. And I think I put so much pressure on myself last year that I fucked it up. Like, just mentally, I felt extremely stressed.
Like a
extremely-
self-sabotage kind of deal?
I thought, I could do anything like Wonder Woman, like I would literally, if I have an off day from training, I was like, okay, I'm not training, I can do double cardio today. I was already doing 2 hours a day. So when I was not training, I would do 4 hours
Wow,
a day.
gosh, Helle, that's a lot.
I did so much and no carbs for 2 months leading up
Did
to
you
the
kill
show.
anybody in the process?
I killed myself. Like, I was extremely
my gosh,
depressive,
right.
just out of my element. I didn't feel in balance. I felt like crap every day, but I wanted it so bad. And for me, it was worth it. I wanted to show that I was like the reigning champion and I could lead and I wouldn't disappoint and all that. And then exactly my fears materialized and became real. And I did lose the Rising Phoenix and the Olympia. Like, people say, oh, you didn't lose, you lose, you still were at top. Yeah, I'm a top contender and I will any day be a top contender. I want it, I work hard. I just had to implement to work smart as
Sure,
well.
of course.
So this year I worked really smart. I didn't beat the crap out of my body, and it has just responded so much better. Like, so much better. Like, last year, it was like I was at war with my body. It was a war every day. Okay, the mindset, I'm tired, I'm worn out, I don't feel good, I want to sleep, and then there was this other piece of the mind, I guess the devil and the angel, saying, and in this case, it was the devil saying, you got to work. You got to get up. You got to work. You got to do 2 hours cardio. You got to post. You got to go to the gym. You got to beat the crap out of yourself and don't eat anything, And it didn't work. And in hindsight, I can see, okay, it was pushing too hard. I just think, for me and also my coach Shelby, we just wanted it like too bad, and we thought we could do whatever. But the body is not a machine, and you got to be smart. And this year has been probably the best diet I've been on. I have energy. I feel good. I feel like grounded. I feel in balance with myself, and my outlook has changed. That now I'm more like, I just want to bring the best version of myself.
And you have done
like
that, yeah.
the outcome, if I'm going to win or lose or whatever placing I'm going to get, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Of course I want to win. There's no doubt about it. I'm a champion. I have a champion mentality. But for me right now, I was really disappointed with my look last year. I didn't like it. I was too flat at the Rising Phoenix. I looked tired. I couldn't hold the poses. I was watery at the Olympia. My body had said quit, and I don't like the look. I don't even want to post the photos.
Right.
So this year I'm like, I want to show myself what I can do. Like, my best look when my body is healthy and not beat the crap out of, like, what can my body do for me? It's not like, what can I do to my body so that I will win? No, I want to bring my best package. Mm-hmm. I want to bring something I can be proud of. Whatever the placement is, I'm like, it's out of my control. It's not in my hands. It's in hands of the judges. I want to control what I can control. And that is like working hard, being smart about it. And I just want to be happy when I take progress pictures and I send them to you. It's because I'm happy.
Sure.
I'm like,
oh yeah,
nice.
You're not going to send me crappy pictures.
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly.
Yeah, there's some crappy pictures.
I don't
of
think
me.
I sent anybody pictures last year
I
about my
wouldn't,
coach.
Right, yeah. So I'm surprised, and I love your mental thinking on this, your mindset, and that's amazing. But I'm also surprised that you're not, well, I'm going to win the whole show, because that's what usually people come in and say, I'm going to win it. I'm like, well, yeah, okay. Which you are a top contender for the title, the Olympia and the Rising Phoenix. Where do you see yourself and a couple years with bodybuilding. Do you see yourself still competing?
I'm not sure. I've had a long career, and I'm really happy with what I've accomplished. I do see the next chapter for myself within a year or two. So I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to do something else, but it's within reach of, I would say, a year or two.
You know what I think is cool that you do with your athletes and the people you train? You have these group training sessions. And I think that's awesome because it shows like a lot of positive, like everybody's cheering each other on. And what made you want to do that? Because you don't really see that very often.
I just want to bring people together, you know, like I want to share the love for the sport, and I always believed in teamwork, you know, like you go further with a great team than just working on your own. And people often say like, oh, bodybuilding is a selfish sport and it's like a one man and one woman sport. But it's really not, because, I mean, you do have a team, whether it's be a nutrition coach or a trainer or a training partner or a partner in life with support, emotional support, or you know, your massage therapists, your chiropractors, your deep tissue, whatever it is. You do have a team around you to help you get to where you need to be at. And in terms of like the group trainings, I just like to bring athletes together, and I love that we can all meet up and train and have fun with it, you know, because it can get so serious, like, oh, we got to push, we got to grind, we also got to have fun with what we love to do.
So speaking of being fun, I heard you wanted to be a comedian?
Oh,
is this true?
Yes.
How did this come about?
Well, I guess when I moved to LA, you know, it's the city of dreams, and it's the city of acting. And I started taking acting classes, and I started looking at some improv schools, stand-up comedian schools and stuff. And we got a lots of little stand-up comedian clubs around town.
Did you ever do a stand-up gig?
I did not.
Well, we got to sign you up. Let's do it. The Beast Queen.
I never dared, but I watched a lot of improv and stuff, and I love it.
Do you know how many stories you could probably tell, especially with these guys that you run into? I'm sure you've got some hilarious stories.
Probably. I'm
the Beast Queen of comedy. You would be the first female bodybuilder comedian, because I don't think we've ever had one.
Maybe that should be the next chapter.
Now, you have been on a lot of news stations, TV, radio, movies as well. You've been on with what I would consider your best friend, Irene Anderson, Too Big for the World. You are a huge advocate of female bodybuilding. So tell me about your love of female bodybuilding, and what would you say to a girl who, I don't want to have big muscles like you? What do you think of that?
Well, first of all, I think everybody should do with what they're comfortable with, and what they see for themselves. What I think is sad is when people are influenced by society or like standard norms. You know, like if you love muscles, go for it, you know. Maybe you don't want as big muscles as me or Isabel, but
I don't have big muscles.
I see some guns over there.
But guns.
Yeah, I don't like when I hear girls like, oh, my boyfriend doesn't like when I get too big, or, you know,
because he's intimidated.
My parents don't think it's feminine or whatever it is. I'm like, it's your life, like it's yours to live. There's only one person who can make you truly happy, and that is yourself. And if people aren't supportive of you, what can I say? Get rid of them.
Right. Well, yeah. Goodbye.
You know,
see you, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, if people love you, they're gonna support you. Maybe they'll be a little critical at first at your choices, but they gotta respect that it's your choice. So I'm like, you know, go for however you want to look like, and don't be scared to put on muscles because it actually looks pretty freaking good.
It does look good. Muscles are very sexy. Now, Helle, what can we do to promote female bodybuilding even more to the regular people out there? What do you think we can do? More social media type stuff? Do we need to be more out there in the open at the shows?
We definitely got to be visible.
Right.
I think Wings of Strength have done a lot of great things, like assembling this ambassador team. We are being sent out to all the shows throughout the year where we are meeting up with fans, taking pictures, selling merchandise. Also, I mean, it's important for everyone out there who's a female bodybuilder or wants to be, support the sport through your social media, showcase what you're doing, your training, your nutrition, whatever. It will inspire other girls to be like, oh wow, like if she can do it, like you don't have to have huge muscles to show your joy for the sport. I mean, there's gonna be girls that are just getting started that can better relate to a woman with less muscles than maybe me, because I'm like all the way in the upper spectrum.
Right.
So
you're in a whole
however
other
you
planet.
look like and you have a love for the sport, whether you got a few extra pounds or not, I would just say go for it. Help us promote, like post about all your healthy smoothies and your training and everything. And in terms of promotion, like maybe we could see if we could get some sponsorships with some of the bigger companies, Reebok, Nike,
sure.
stuff
That'd be
like
great.
that, to be in their advertisement, especially something like that's really like muscle related. Like if they have say a fitness line in Nike, I think it would be appropriate to have some more muscular
Adidas
girls.
one time actually did do a campaign for that.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
Okay, yeah.
Years ago.
Because you see something like Dove. Dove has become famous for they showcase all types of women.
Sure.
Not the muscular one.
No,
though.
they do
But
not.
they have different sizes, more or less curvy and stuff. And I think more companies should really utilize that to show different shapes. And it's not like maybe they say, oh, we don't just want to cater to muscular women because maybe there's not that many of us. But they want to cater to everybody, so they also want to represent some more muscular women and some women that can be role models and that are a little bit what can you say, out of the ordinary to catch the eye. I mean, it's also say if you watch something boxing related promotion and you see Evander Holyfield or Mike Tyson or whatever, it's not like you think oh, if I use this product, I'm going to be as good as Mike Tyson. But you can maybe be inspired to buy the product and say, well, if he uses it, I can get better myself. So I definitely feel like we can inspire other women to be more fit.
Have you tried to reach out to these companies to push yourself? Because again, one thing I could say about you is you always are on, and that means presentation. You're a walking business card for female bodybuilding. And we always, I will say this, and I don't mean to insult anybody, but it's true. I go to these shows, especially the night show, I have a big pet peeve. And that is when I see professional bodybuilders, professional athletes at the night show, I feel we should be dressed up. And instead, I see people in freaking leggings and gym clothes looking sloppy.
Yeah.
Now, you're not representing us very well, but when you come out, you're to the nines. You're always dressed up, showing, of course, going to show the legs, make everybody look bad, but you're always beautiful. And you obviously are a great role model for our sport and what you do. I think you are the top #1 person in our industry who is always promoting female bodybuilding, always on the social media, because that's what it's about. You're always pushing it out there. So thank you for doing that very much. unfortunately, as you know, some of our girls aren't as active, but they should be, because that's how people see us and get to know us. And you have a lot of people, you have a huge fan base, and a lot of people live their dreams through you. So I really appreciate your positivity, and you're so much fun.
Thank you.
So much fun. I'm looking forward to doing some of these skits with you.
Oh, I'm getting nervous. Ooh.
No,
I get
don't
nervous,
get nervous.
though.
No. Oh, I'm actually
But
nervous
thank
because
you for the kind words, and
Sure.
and I'm just I'm so big of social media because I mean, try and Google it. There are literally billions on social media,
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and what forth. There
Do you
are
do TikTok?
Billions. I do a little bit of TikTok. I was more active some months ago, but you know, as
I can't
prep
figure out
goes
TikTok.
along, it's like
It
I
looks like
narrowed
work.
it down a bit.
Is it a lot of work doing TikTok?
No, it's not more work really than Instagram. Actually, Instagram stole a lot from them, like the Reels.
I get
That's something from TikTok. But I do a lot of Instagram. That's mainly what I do. Instagram,
yeah,
I have
you're
my
always-
YouTube channel. I post a lot. I have a lot of videos on YouTube.
Do you have a professional videographer that follows you around, or no?
I don't.
Okay, so you do everything yourself then?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I do.
'Cause
I
you
have a web guy that helps me video edit and stuff like that. But all of the content I produce myself.
Yeah, because you know some of these people, you see them with their video person always around, always,
Yeah.
everywhere, following them around.
Yeah.
So let
Which
me ask.
would be great, but you
Yeah.
know, maybe
Well-
somebody will volunteer out there in LA.
Hey, Helle's looking. So looking at you right here, you obviously stand out. You do not fit in. So how many people, when you're out and about, hit on you, or just make compliments, or I'm sure you get tons.
A lot, and I love it because I put a lot of work into my body.
You like showing it
and
off.
I really like that. You know, people acknowledge that.
How many marriage proposals have you gotten?
A lot.
Of course.
Like on Instagram, that's like my main number one marriage proposal.
Will you marry me? I love you.
Especially from India.
Really?
They love muscular
oh my
women.
Gosh, that's funny. I love it.
But yeah, I mean, honestly.
No dirty pictures, right? Like dick pics.
Oh, I get it all the time. But
Why do they send us that?
I don't know. Honestly,
I mean,
don't know.
what do they
And
expect us to
if
do,
any
right?
guys are watching this right now,
Don't send dick pics.
I'll just tell you, it doesn't work. It's not like, you know, some guys will literally send me dick pics and they will like, they won't even say hello. Like,
Here's my on.
or they will be like, you like? I'm like, dude,
I
I don't even know you. I don't know you.
Right.
How? I don't even.
Is that
see
how
your
we
face.
meet
Like,
people now?
I don't
showing-
know, like who you are. like,
It's probably not even their dick pic, to be honest. Probably somebody they stole
No.
off somebody else's page.
I mean,
But you know what?
but
How
with
many
all
girls?
these fake profiles.
Yo, but
man,
how
you
many
know-
girls actually respond is what I want to know. Is there girls that respond to this? And the answer probably is yes. Because some girl, there is always one. Why? Why? You know?
But the odds, though, I'll say, is it 1 out of 100? You know, like.
Hey, were you there when Lefty was at FIBO?
Oh, I was there. I was there.
So okay,
He
you
was
got to
horrible.
tell our fans the story here. So this guy,
So we had a booth
FIBO.
at
Yeah,
the
tell
FIBO,
the story
Wings
about
of
this,
Strength. And we were like, all the ambassadors were there and stuff. And the FIBO is like huge. It's like the world's
Right.
biggest fitness and bodybuilding expo. It's like amazing. I think there was like 10 big like of these like convention
Wow.
halls in just filled with stuff. So we were all super excited, and there was like, there's so many people. There was like a crowd like this around us, like
Oh,
a
of
thick
course, right.
brim. And
Europeans
in that
love it.
crowd, there was a rumor and a whisper between the girls, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that dude over there, he has his hands in his
Junk,
pants,
yeah.
you know. And so he was like standing
masturbating.
in his pants, and Jake got.
I would have went up to him. I would have went up to him personally and said, "Are you okay? Are you having a seizure?"
We were just kind of like
So he was jerking
disbelief,
off.
you know. And then Jake got a whiff of it, and he
whiff
started
of it.
chasing the guy. So the guy ran, and Jake
Well,
ran
yeah, I mean,
after
look,
him
really,
through the
wow.
expo.
And Jake's like 6'7", big dude.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
that's
they
funny.
were running through the
Wow.
expo.
Well, you never
he
saw
didn't
him
get
again.
him. He got away. There were
He
so
got
many
away.
people,
Wow. But he came back the second day or something?
but he came back. He
What an
was
idiot.
bold enough to come back, and I think they got him. I think they got him.
What the heck is wrong with people? I mean, he's just sitting there jerking his little beater.
I mean,
like nothing
in public,
in public.
like seriously.
I mean, he gets off by that, right?
I mean,
Anyway.
I would say I'm flattered that
You're flattered that-
people find us attractive and sexy and all that. But
so you're
but,
okay with Lefty
But
coming
no,
back?
but
All right.
I would say, but there are some kind of like courtesy or
Respect.
a respect that that is a no go. Like no.
I wish
no.
I would have. So I was supposed to be there that year, and I canceled because I was prepping for a
It
show.
was kind of funny. After.
Oh, I would have laughed. I would have went up to myself. Excuse me.
What are you doing?
What are you doing there?
Like,
Get the magnifying glass out. Kind of deal. But anyway, so let me ask you this. So with the Olympia coming up, what are we going to expect from you at the Olympia? Because now you are on a mission, huge mission.
yeah.
And are you happy it's back in Orlando, or would you rather it be in Vegas?
I mean, I would say, like logistically, I would prefer Vegas because it's close to LA. I don't have
right,
very
of
far
course.
travels.
Right.
But Orlando will work. I might go there early. I don't like to travel to shows too late with the long flights.
I would
and,
advise going early.
Yeah, and also,
it's best.
3 hours is a lot of time difference, actually. Like, say if you're used to going to bed in LA, say at 12, midnight, then all of a sudden I have to go to bed at 9 because of the time difference, or like, say you get up at 6, all of a sudden you have to get up at 3, like it's just, it throws you off those 3 hours.
Listen, I'm East Coast, and I'm coming to Phoenix, so
Yeah.
I'm thrown off.
Yeah.
Going back is the problem for me because
Right.
I'm going back late,
Yeah.
so I'm not used to it.
It
But-
takes a few days,
Right.
and then also if there's a lot of like, say we have like zero humidity in LA, and then you go to Orlando
Oh
where it's
my
like
gosh.
87%
The hair is like
humidity.
Right.
It's a lot for the body when the body is like that lean and that depleted. It's like you're like super sensitive to things.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go early. I talked to a friend and client of mine, Gina, that
Love
I prepped
Gina.
for the last few.
Yeah.
I prepped her for the last few.
Gina's
like,
a
3
great
shows.
girl. She's a really good
Yeah,
girl.
so she invited me to come stay with her,
Yeah.
and I've actually been there several times this year to work with Adam Brammer, which is a great trainer out of
Wow.
MI40.
Mm-hmm.
He's trained by Ben Pakulski.
MI40 is one of the best gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a great bodybuilding environment
do.
over there. I have a trainer lined up over there already. I can stay with Gina, and she's.
So you're set.
Yeah, she shut it down for the season. So she's like, I really want you here. I want to help you with your prep. I want to be there for you and
That's
just
very
make
nice
sure
of
your
her.
prep is
Yeah.
the last part is top notch. So I'm pretty much set up. So I might even go there a month in advance.
That would be, if I was you and you have that access, I would totally do that.
Yeah, I'm
Because
thinking
Mentally.
2
and
weeks,
just-
2 to 4 weeks.
Well,
in
mentally,
advance.
and then just your body's going to change so quick. It's going to be insane.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the Olympia stage. But I want to go into so you do coaching,
Mm-hmm.
just nutrition and bodybuilding and training and stuff.
Yeah.
Posing, do you do that as well or no?
Say again.
Posing?
Yeah, I do posing sessions on Skype, FaceTime.
So how do we,
also
if somebody wants to
in-house.
work with you, how do we find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Helle Trevino, or helletrevino@yahoo.com.
You have a
Write me
website
an
as well?
email. I have a website, helletrevino.com.
Okay.
You can write me through the website, through the email, through
No
Instagram.
dick pics.
No dick pics.
And I wanted to ask you, is there anything you want to say to your fan? Oh, one thing I do got to touch upon real quick. You always got badass sneakers. Is this your own brand of sneakers, or is this someone who sponsors you?
I wish I had my own brand.
These are kick-ass.
I love sneakers. I love
Yes.
shoes. Like I have some sort of shoe fetish.
No.
I don't know. I might have close to 100 pairs of shoes.
Jeez.
And the funny thing is, like, I always wear like the same 5 or 6 pair, like that I love.
And you have so many other
you know.
shoes, but
Yeah.
you wear.
But Yeah, I don't have my own brand. I was sponsored by this company, Heyday Footwear. Unfortunately, they shut down business during COVID.
Sorry about that.
2020. Yeah,
Right.
so many businesses went under.
Right.
And there was the most bomb-ass sneakers.
Yes.
Every time I wear them,
Right.
I get comments
Oh,
at the
they're cool.
gym or
Yeah.
the street, or people are like, wow, what
Were they
brand is
wedges
that?
or no or just regular flats?
They had different styles. So some of them were like, they called them cardio sneakers. They had
okay.
like kind of more like a
Yeah.
wedge. And then some of them were more for squatting, which were super flat. So like I still use those shoes for leg training, the Heydays, because they're so super flat. You just, you want like a firm grip
Right.
on the surface. If you use like a running shoe or something that has too much cushioning, you get too wobbly on a squat or leg
Now,
press.
do you have a clothing line as well or no?
I am working
You have
on
t-
one.
Okay.
Yes.
I think if you have some
I have-
T-shirts with the Beast Queen on it and your famous
I do.
the pose,
Yes, I do.
I think that would be a sellout. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you do have them now.
I'm actually working
You're
on
working on it.
T-shirts to bring to the Rising Phoenix
Nice.
and
Okay.
Olympia. And
Make sure you save
I
one
might
for
even
me.
put them up on the website for
Good.
sale.
Save one for me.
I will.
I want one.
Yes.
To support. I'm going to leave you with closing off for the show. And if there's anything you want to say to your fans, family, sponsors, Wings of Strength.
Yep. Well, I just want to thank everyone for supporting the sport. Not just supporting me, but just supporting women's bodybuilding in general. Wings of Strength have done so much for us. I mean, we would not be here at the Wings of Strength studio if it wasn't for Wings of Strength. So please go and support their page as well, wingsofstrength.net. They got apparel, photos, and all kind of stuff for sale. So with that being said, also thank you to my sponsors, who's in my corner, who's making sure, I'm glammed up on stage. I got Liquid Sun Rays. They're doing my
Nice.
tan.
That's great.
I got,
Shout out to Marilyn.
yes,
Yeah,
Marilyn,
she's
you're my
amazing.
girl. I got different supplement companies that I'm working with and stuff. So, I mean, you all make my prep so much easier. And thank you for the support from my friends, my family, my boyfriend. You all make my life just better.
Boyfriend. Now, I got to, even though I'd say they have the last word, you got a boyfriend.
I do.
Sorry, guys. All right. Cool beans. Well, Helle, thank you so much for being here. It is truly an honor having the two-time world champion and the most incredible person in the world, sweetest ever, big heart, the Beast Queen,
Thank you.
Thunder Thighs, Helle Trevino. I'm Fit Rockstar, signing off.